How are you giving away your power to the idea of what is spiritual? People are rejecting another because they believe that there is a more spiritual way of being. You are not being a light worker. You are accepting your role as a light slave. I know that you are here because you do want to see unity. This is the time. This is the year to no longer do this. The stakes are getting higher. My guides have been talking about this, the need for us to come together. At the end of the day, this experience of existence is so much stranger than we can even imagine. Since time immemorial, humans have been giving away their power. They are told how to feel, what to think, what to say. This is all done to manipulate humans into believing something that is untrue. The heart stays bound and chained. This is the sovereignty that all beings seek, the freedom of the heart. It connects you to your soul. It connects you to the light and the power of the universe. Hello, my name is Eluña. I am an Akashic channeler and a psycho-spiritual healer. And I would like to talk about the difference between a light worker and a light slave in today's video. So I know that is a rather harsh phrase, a light slave, but I have been noticing so much, and I know all of you have, because it's pretty undeniable. You can't miss it if you are in the space and paying attention. There is a lot of division that has been entering the spiritual space. And of course, it has always been here. And I was actually talking with the three guides, the beings that I channel who are contemporaries of Thoth. I was speaking with them about this concept, and they were explaining to me that it actually has been here for time, basically time immemorial in terms of humans' history. It is the seeds that were planted that have created division in our society and between humans, between us as a family, because that is what we are. But these seeds were planted long, long ago. And these seeds are really the reason why we give away our power. There is a concept that Billy Carson talks about, and I truly don't know everything he says about this, but he talks about a worship gene being turned on in humans. I'm not sure if this is something that is genetic, like what he claims, but what I do know is that it is a program that is running in our body. However it is present, I'm not sure, but it is there. And it is very, very difficult to go against that program. When we come up against something that is different than what we believe or different than something that we have ever experienced, the tendency in humans is to want to annihilate that thing that is different in some way. So the annihilation, that's kind of the most extreme version of where division can lead us to. But the lesser version of that, the lesser extreme of that, is judgment. Judging another for where they are, for what they believe, for how they dress, what they look like, how they speak, where they're from. There are so many pieces that this division affects between us and within our own selves. There is an understanding that is coming out more and more that in terms of colonialism and the idea of enslavement, there is a desire to enslave or to conquer another or another place or another being or another's ideas. There's that desire because we ourselves have been enslaved and have been conquered. So that is something that is prevalent throughout all humans. There is a lot to say on this particular subject, but we as humans, we were created essentially as slaves. The reason why we exist, or the genesis of us, comes from beings creating us to do work for them. So that's a whole story for another day. But because that is within us, every single human being alive regardless of where they are from, regardless of their ancestry, we all carry the notion of enslavement within us. When something like that is inside, it is natural in the human ego to want to take that out or put that onto another because it has been done to us. That is the way the ego works. It's tit for tat. It's you took this from me, so I'm going to take this from you. That is what keeps constantly the teeter-totter of life or the pendulum of life swinging perpetually, going back and forth from one extreme to the other. That happens within us as individuals, and it also happens within the collective. And we can see that. We can see how one group does one thing and it's very extreme, and so the pendulum is there, and then another group reacts in a different way and the pendulum swings in that direction. It is, again, extremely challenging. It might be one of the hardest things to do in this lifetime to go against that programming because it is so strong within us. The three guides were explaining that it is one of the earliest seeds that was planted in humanity, in the collective, in our history. So it is a seed that runs very, very deep. It is a seed that really composes the majority of the human tree that we all are a part of. Energetically, we are all a part of a human collective tree. And so the roots of that tree are growing out of the seeds of division. They also explained, the guides explained, that this began in a kind of a tribalistic sense in terms of certain leaders within tribes knowing what is best for the group and making certain decisions that did in fact benefit the entire community of whoever was with them. They made good decisions that the whole group could move forward in a way that was safe, prosperous, etc. So the idea of someone else knowing better than you, particularly because we all start as children, so we all know that our adults, our parents, know better than we do. That's just part of who we are. It's part of how we experience the world and grow up. So that was already present. That was taken to an extreme with religion and with the monarchy. That is really where that concept within a human, which to me, another side to this, the other energy that I see that is present is it is the energy of faith. It is the energy of trust, innocence, purity, trusting that someone who is sharing something with you has your very best in their heart. They want the best for you. And the reason why they are sharing something with you or advising that you do something specific is because they care about you. That's innocence. And that is something that we all have because we are humans and because we are children of God. So though that piece, that energy was taken to an extreme through the monarchy and through religion, and humans have been giving away their power ever since that time, looking outside of themselves and believing that something far and beyond what they could possibly imagine or anything that they could even be capable of doing is actually more of an expert, knows better than they about personal things in their own life. It is truly sad to me, and I can see how far and really deep, and I would say truly insidious, this type of thinking becomes when we go to something as personal as just the thoughts in your mind. That what is believed and perpetuated through various religions is that certain thoughts are going to make you sinful. Your own thoughts are being policed. Your own thoughts, you are not even allowed to be thinking. And there is something outside of you that is going to judge and condemn you for having those thoughts. That is that's the most intimate place in a person, is their own mind. And there is fear even wrapped up in that from these stories of what is okay and what is not okay, and humans continuing to give away their power. So the way that that is coming up in today's world, obviously, myriad of reasons. And I'm not going to go into all of them because that would be a documentary. It wouldn't be just a video. But one of the pieces that I really want to highlight is the way that it's affecting us in the spiritual space. Judging another person for where they are, for the way that they are living their life, is creating separation. If we are in the spiritual space, if the true desire that you have in your heart is to see humanity be lifted, to see a raising of consciousness and awareness, perpetuating separation in any way is working directly against that. Consciousness raising means there is unity. It means there is harmony between each being. There cannot be harmony if there is one person rejecting another or rejecting just an aspect of another. So many times what I am seeing is that people are rejecting another or rejecting a certain quality or way of life that another is living because they believe that there is a more spiritual way of being. This came up the most with the most recent video that I released prior to the energy update about food. It was actually quite interesting to see the responses and the reactions from some people. And it was also interesting to see how some people heard completely different things. It was actually a very interesting just phenomena for me to experience, how differently it was taken, but also the amount of judgment that was present in the comments. It is absolutely more than okay to feel a certain way about the way that you eat food, which is a part of the way that you live your life. It is absolutely okay. And in fact, it is important for you to know how you feel about the way that you want to eat food. That is one of the simplest and yet most complex aspects of our life, is just eating, how we maintain this physical body. So it is important and necessary for you to know how you want to do that. Condemning another for the way that they need to eat for their body or the way that they feel called to eat, that is not spiritual. My mother raised me with the whole notion of 2 wrongs does not make a right. So if it's wrong to eat an animal, it is also wrong to judge someone for eating an animal. At the end of the day, it does not actually help in any way. It creates separation. It creates division because judgment pushes another away. Judgment is the way that separation is created. It is one of the weaker forms on the spectrum, but that is one of the main ways in our society that we do it to each other, human to human. And that's not why we're here. That's not why you are here watching this video. I know that because otherwise you wouldn't be interested in this content. In your heart, I know that you are here because you do want to see unity. You want to have human consciousness be raised to a point where we are all able to cohabitate, to collaborate, and live together in a harmonious way. Harmony does not come from 2 pieces pushing against each other and claiming that one way is right and one way is wrong. So my question to you, what in your life is telling you or dictating to you how to live? How are you giving away your power to the idea of what is, quote, spiritual? What spiritual means? What spiritual looks like? How spiritual eats? How spiritual dresses? Because if that's a place where you're giving that away, you are not being a light worker. You are accepting your role as a light slave It is present in all of us. We all have places where we give our power away and where we are tempted to give our power away. This is the time, and I will say this is the year to no longer do this. The stakes are getting higher. The pushing back against all of the light is getting stronger. And the need to come together is more important than maybe ever before because of that, because of the pushing back. My guides have been talking about this all year. The need for us to come together as a network, to hold hands. And if in you there is some part in you that says, I'm not going to hold hands with that person because they eat meat, or because they don't believe in angels, or because they believe this certain thing, that's not how we're going to come together. That's not how unity is going to form. And that is why I have said, and I will continue to say, when you are ready to join us, there is a space at our table. There is no rejection from me. I am not going to reject another because of an idea that they have. At the end of the day, this experience of existence is so much stranger than we can even imagine. So much stranger. So who am I to claim that there is one certain way, or that I know the best way to go about it? I'm not going to claim that. We all hold a piece to the puzzle because we're all pieces of the puzzle. And each one is meant to look unique. There's meant to be a variety of ways of thinking, a variety of ways of speaking, of seeing the world, perspectives, and interacting with the environment. And it doesn't mean that you have to like it. You don't have to like something for there to be harmony. There just cannot be a rejection, an annihilation, a denial of someone else's experience. That is what creates separation and division, and therefore does not allow unity to happen. So I want to invite you to think about, are you a light worker or are you a light slave? Where in your life have you given away your power to a certain set of beliefs because you were told, or because you think it is the way of a light worker? It's really important to contemplate this question and have a very real and authentic look inside as to where that is true for you. And if this is deeply activating for you, if you are feeling very angry because of what I am saying, that's actually a really good sign. That means that there is a lot of energy here for you. And there is a part of you that is really needing to look at this and wanting to see it, even though the voices are going to want to reject what I am saying. If you are feeling anger, that is absolutely okay. And I would say, take this opportunity with all of that energy that's in you and do something with it. Look truly at that anger, feel all of it, and see what is underneath all of that anger. After you've felt through it all and it's all come up and erupted inside of you, what is actually down there? Because there is a part of you that needs something. It needs you. That's what's underneath all of that. And only you can find out what's down there. And that only comes through self-examination, self-inquiry. So, I would like to bring through the three guides. They said that they would basically comment on this idea from a Hermetic perspective and just share a bit more about this with all of you. So I'm just going to bring them through and see what they have to say about this notion of being a light slave and giving away our power. As was stated, since time immemorial, humans have been giving away their power. They were created without power, and they were told what was power and what was not power. This has led them to believing that something outside of them, someone greater than them, can dictate and tell them what to do, how to live, how to think, and even what is okay or not okay to ask for. The questioning, or the lack of questioning, is one of the ways that humans give away their power the most. Being told what questions to ask is a way of controlling the narrative and controlling the way that humans think. Asking questions that are outside of the narrative, that go beyond the stories that have been told, are condemned. They are considered to be too far-fetched, or they are considered to be crazy for asking these questions. This is all done in a way to manipulate the narrative, to manipulate humans further into believing something that is untrue, that only sides with those who wish to have control and dominion over the planet. This dominion has led to the manipulation of humans in a variety of ways. Humans give away their power and are dominated by their bodies. They are dominated by their words. They are dominated by beliefs. This keeps the heart locked. They are unable to access the heart when everything is coming toward them and they are being controlled. They are told how to feel, what to think, what to say. They are told that they are not allowed to feel certain ways, that they are not allowed to say certain words, and they are not allowed to think in certain ways. This means the heart is inaccessible. The heart stays bound and chained in their body, to the earth, and to the narratives that have been running for eons. This is the ultimate freedom of humanity. This is the sovereignty that all beings seek, the freedom of the heart. The heart connects you to the Creator. It connects you to your soul. It connects you to the light and the power of the universe, of creation, of everything that is beyond you. Humans have a unique perspective in this. They have a unique experience of being connected to infinity through the heart. Through time and space, they are connected through their heart portals. Yet they have this perspective limited to what is right in front of them, slowed down to only what the mind can perceive, one glance at a time. This is both frustrating and awe-inspiring for humans. The heart is the way. The heart is what brings you to a state of being awakened or enlightened. The mind can support this awakening. The mind must be free in order for the heart to speak. The mind must be opened in order for the heart to begin to connect again through time and space. It is only when these two aspects of being are united can one human truly be free. Sovereignty. This is where humanity is heading. Sovereignty comes from a complete and total acceptance of what is within you, not what has been told to you, not what has been dictated by another. What is in you? What is true in your heart? What is true in the depths of your being? What guides you? What leads you? What inspires you? Not what you have been told is inspiring, not who you have been told to follow as a leader. What in you leads you? Do you follow it? Do you listen to it? Do you acknowledge and forgive when it leads you somewhere that you wish not to have gone? More than that, do you express gratitude when you have a situation where you wish not to be? This is how you begin to trust yourself, to be your own leader, to listen to your own guidance, not to be dictated by another, not to be controlled by another. This is the control of the pendulum swing, allowing yourself to decide what to feel, what to think, where to go. Not listen to another. Allow yourself to experience the higher realms of thought, the higher realms of feeling, so that you can see yourself, see your experience from a higher vantage. This is how the pendulum is brought back to center. Has a story been told to you that has swung your pendulum so that you are now feeling very angry? This is a giving away of your power. This is not accessing the higher mind. This is not choosing how you are going to respond. How do you bring yourself to a state of considering what has been told to you? How do you open to curiosity, to wonder? This is why so many speak of childlike innocence, or accepting and opening to your inner child. It is to bring out the qualities of wonder, curiosity, innocence. This allows you to see the world from a different perspective, one that is open, like a child, one that is accepting, non-judgmental, like a child. This allows you to consider different ways of being, living, thinking, feeling. There are many paths that lead to evolution. There are many paths that allow one to awaken, to become more than themselves. These paths are walked by each person themselves. Each path is formed by the individual. Each path is perceived and understood by the individual. Seeing the lights that are ahead as inspiration is only one part of awakening. Only you can walk your path. If you are allowing another to tell you how to walk your path, you are still not on your path. You are walking someone else's. Bring yourself to a place of considering the principles that are stated in the Kabbalion. These are the principles to live a sovereign life. This is what allows you to see beyond the narrative. This is why this work has been delivered to humanity. This is why this work is being reintroduced to humanity. It is the path to sovereignty. There is no one way that this work points to. There is no one way that this work dictates. Only the principles of the universe, the laws of reality are stated so that you are able to choose your own path, so that you are able to decide and determine for yourself how you wish to walk your path. There is hardly a messenger to point at. This is why this work was written in the fashion that it was. Humans tend to be distracted by the messenger rather than focusing on the message. This was seen again and again throughout time. So finally, there came the opportunity and the space to allow for the messenger to be removed. Almost anonymous. 3 initiates, unable to be pointed to. Even names, faces, erased. Not present. We return only now to assist with the sovereignty of humanity, to assist with the upliftment, the awakening of consciousness, to act as a reminder of what is possible based on the principles of the universe. Learn this work. Read these principles from the perspective of sovereignty. Read these principles from the perspective of awakening to sovereignty. Read these principles from the perspective of another choosing their path from their own sovereignty. Notice how life shifts around you. Notice how your perspective is altered with those you come across. Notice how your thoughts of judgment can be changed with these principles in mind. It is only one who contemplates, who considers deeply, and brings back again and again the concepts they are considering, that can become truly enlightened, that can allow the slow trickle of wisdom to seep into their being, to saturate their core, and become what moves them. Allow wisdom to move you. My energy stays with me. Your energy stays with you. Thank you all very much for joining me. Thank you for receiving this message, this transmission. As usual, please keep what feels good and resonant, and allow that which does not to simply fall away. It will come back if it is meant to. May you remember your magic today.